And the Gemara Lamed Hey on Beis on top tells us, and we're going to use the following girsa: Atrach alad Rabbi Yochanan, or Atrach Reb Shmuel alad Rabbi Yochanan. Reb Shmuel Rabbi Yitzchak composed on Rabbi Yochanan to give an answer. V'mar, and he said, Im Gamarta Latzes, if you already decided to go, Tavei B'Shalom, you should come back in peace. And Shama Rabbi Lazar heard what Rabbi Yochanan said. V'mar, and he said, Ein Roshus Gedei Mizu, there's no greater permission than this. If he said, come back in peace, that means he's giving you permission to go, and he's giving you a bracha to come back. The Gemara continues asking, Ma'oshiyat Makayin l'chvayda Rabbim. Is a kain allowed to become tamei for kavod Rabbim? And this is referring to a kain becoming tamei d'Rabbanan in order to greet many people coming. For example, we know that when people came to bring their bikurim, a whole mishlachas, a whole group of people would go and greet them. This was a kavod for the people coming to bring their bikurim. So the question is a kain allowed to be metamei himself in order to be mechabed a great number of people? So Tani was taught in a brisa, and this brisa is talking about a whole group of people that are going along their way to do a mitzvah. Let's say there's two different pathways that can be taken. Achas rechaika utahira, v'achas kreva utameha. One of them is a further path, meaning it takes longer, however it's tahar, and one of them is much closer, it's much quicker, but there's a suffix tuma on that pathway. If the rabbim, if everyone's going on this very long path, so then a kohen who's going with them, he has to go on that long path. But if not, he should go on the shorter one because that's where they are, because of kavod rabbim. Even though they're going on this pathway, which is very possibly tamei, he has a chiv to go with them, he's not allowed to separate from them, and that's kavod rabbim. So you see that a kohen could become tamei l'kavod rabbim. But now the Gemara asks, ad kedayin b'tumah shel devreim. This is all discussing tamei midrabanan. Afilu tamei she'im devrei Torah. Does that even apply to tamei da'iraisa? Do we say that a kohen is allowed to become tamei da'iraisa for kavod rabbim? The Gemara answers, min ma demar Reb Ze'ira, from that which Reb Ze'ira said, gadol hu kavod rabbim is so great, shehu daicha mitzvah b'loy saseh sha'ah achas, that it'll be daicha, will push away even in mitzvahs loy saseh temporarily. So we learn from here that even tamei midaraisa, a kohen is allowed to become tamei l'chavod rabbim. Now going back to discuss mace-related halachas. Rabbi Yoina said, b'shem Rabbi Yossi Glilaya, b'shem Rabbi Yossi Reb Chanina, ein shaylin halachas l'fnei mitasa shel mace. No asking halachic questions, no discussing Torah in front of the mitah of a mace. Once again, this is called like the rush. It's mocking a poor person. The person who's right here is not able to learn Torah, he's not able to do mitzvahs, so we shouldn't be involved in mitzvahs and learning Torah right in front of him. As the Gemara of Rabbi Yochanan, Shal Rabbi Yanai, Kume Arsei to Reb Shimon ben Yotzadok, Rabbi Yochanan had asked Rabbi Yanai a question right in front of the bed of Reb Shimon ben Yotzadok, and what was that question? Hikdish alasel bedek habayas. If a person was makdish his oila for bedek habayas, we'll explain what that is in a moment. Vumegivlei, and he responded to him. So we see that Torah is allowed to be discussed in front of a mace. Let's just explain what that means. Hikdish alasel bedek habayas. So kachem mizbeach is something designated for the mizbeach, such as an animal which is designated to be a carbon oila. This person then tried to dedicate this animal that's an oila for bedek habayas, the building fund for the upkeep of the Beis Hamikdash. So does he have to donate its value to bedek habayas? And that's the question that was asked, and an answer was provided. So Gemara gives two different answers of why this is not a problem. Neymar kad have a rachik. We could either say that this was discussed when they were far away from the mita, meaning when they were more than 4 amos away from the mita. Or you could have a maskin leila sadra, or it could be they were discussing this after they brought the mita inside in order to eulogize him. The mita was brought inside the Beis Medrash so everyone could join in for the eulogy, and they stayed outside, and this is where they were discussing this. Ask the Gemara, now we have another question. Rabbi Yirmiyah, Shal Reb Ze'ira, Kume Arsei Reb Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak. Rabbi Yirmiyah asked a question to Reb Ze'ira right in front of the mita of Reb Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak. So once again, we see Torah is allowed to be discussed in front of a mita of a mace. So the Gemara once again answers, Neymar kad have a rachik have a megivlei. We can say that when he was far away, he answered him, kad have a karav loy have a megivlei, but when he was close to the mita, he didn't answer him. And more about a mace, the Gemara says, Tani, we have a brisa, hakatafim, the ones carrying the mace, asur ben ilas a sandal, they're not allowed to wear sandals. Shema yifsek sandal shalachem mehen. Perhaps one of their sandals is going to tear, it's going to break, and it's going to turn out that he's preventing others from doing the mitzvah. That's because everyone has to stop for him to fix his shoe, and that wouldn't be proper. So the people that were designated to carry the mita, they weren't allowed to wear sandals. And the Gemara concludes with this story, Reb Ze'ira, Shira b'dibura. Reb Ze'ira, he stopped his speech, which means he passed out. And the understanding over here is that he was in the middle of a levaya, or it could be that they were in the middle of a eulogy, and he stopped talking and passed out, and they thought that he died. To us, when they came, by Miskafne, they want to straighten him out, which means they want to start dealing with his burial because they thought he died. And they found that he was answering them, meaning they found that he was alive and that he wasn't dead. So on the top, Amrulay, they asked him, Mahu Kain, what happened? What's going on with you? So Amrulay, he told them, this is why we came here, al shame, because of the following pasuk, the living shall take it to heart. And this pasuk is telling us that the living should take to heart Dvarim Shal Misa, which means that you should be involved in haspedim and you should be involved in burying mesim, because one day they're going to do that to you. And Rabbi Zecharia was explaining to them that as we're involved with this mace right now, I was thinking about this pasuk, and I realized that one day I'm going to die, I'm going to pass away, and this was such a powerful thought and feeling, so I fainted, I passed out, and that's what happened to me. We're going to stop here for the day, pick up tomorrow with a brand new halacha. For now, everyone should have a wonderful day.
Wonderful day.